Macbeth. Macbeth and Banquo, two Scottish generals living under the reign of King Duncan, were returning home to Inverness across a bleak heath. They had just bravely defeated an army of rebels, much to the delight of the king, who was also Macbeth's cousin.
Suddenly, as if from nowhere, three hideous witches appeared. The first was greeted Macbeth as Thane, or Lord of Glamis, which was his correct title. The second greeted him as Thane of Cawdor, which was not, and the third as King of Scotland, an honour held by Duncan.
Just before the witches vanished, they also prophesied that Banquo would never be king, but that he would father kings.
As the two generals stood stunned, news arrived that the king had made Macbeth Thane of Cawdor in honour of his victory.
The witch's first prediction had come true. Macbeth sent word to his ambitious wife. Would he, they wondered, soon be king?
When Macbeth reached his castle, Lady Macbeth, her mind already fixed on the crown, was plotting King Duncan's death.
King Duncan duly arrived with his two sons, Prince Malcolm, heir to the throne, and Donalbain. They had come to thank Macbeth for his valour in battle. Lady Macbeth played the charming hostess, but secretly urged her husband to kill the king that very night.
In preparation for the evil deed, Lady Macbeth drugged King Duncan's two guards.
Macbeth, agonizing over the murder, saw a phantom dagger hovering before him.
Fearing her husband would fail, Lady Macbeth crept into Duncan's room herself.
But the sleeping king looked so like her own father that she was unable to kill him.
Lady Macbeth summoned her husband, pouring scorn on his own hesitation.
So reluctantly, Macbeth took the daggers from the drugged guards and slew the king.
With their daggers bloodied, the grooms were blamed. Macbeth, claiming vengeance, killed them both to safeguard his secret.
Despite their display of grief, many suspected the Macbeths for the murder. The king's sons, fearing for their own lives, fled Scotland.
Macbeth, as next in line to the throne, was then crowned king, fulfilling the third prophecy.
Haunted by guilt, but still anxious to retain power, Macbeth worried that Banquo's descendants, not alone, would one day reign, and had also been foretold.
So Macbeth resolved to murder Banquo and his son Fleance, and to this end invited all the local thanes to a feast. As Banquo and Fleance made their way to the palace, they were brutally attacked by Macbeth's hired assassins. Fleance managed to escape, but Banquo died.
Oblivious to this horrific deed, the other thanes were merrily dining when Banquo's ghost suddenly appeared. Only Macbeth could see the spectre, and so unnerved him that the queen dismissed their guests, lest they wondered at the strange behaviour of their king. Therever after, Macbeth and his queen began to suffer long, sleepless nights, filled with hideous dreams, yet Macbeth was still obsessed with not losing the throne. So he returned to the heath to seek out the witches. He found them in a cave, chanting over a cauldron of boiling hell broth, from which the three apparitions rose. The first was an armed head, which warned Macbeth to beware of Macduff, the Thane of Fife. The second was a bloody child, who told Macbeth that no man born of woman could harm him. The third was another child, wearing a crown and holding a tree, who assured Macbeth that he would never be vanquished until the great Burnham Wood came to Dusson Hill, where Macbeth's castle stood.
When Macbeth asked if Banquo's heirs would reign, the cauldron sank into the ground and 8 ghostly kings passed by, followed by Banquo's ghost. The last king carried a glass which showed many kings, and Macbeth knew them to be Banquo's descendants.
From this day, insecurity plagued Macbeth, so when he heard that Macduff, Thane of Fife, had joined forces with Prince Malcolm, Macbeth ordered the death of Macduff's wife and children. This bloody deed lost Macbeth many friends and determined Malcolm and Macduff to seek revenge.
Then Macbeth received a terrible blow. His queen, who had never come to terms with her guilt, and whose nights and days were ceaselessly haunted by ghastly visions, finally succumbed to death. Macbeth felt totally alone. Still, more grave news followed.
Thousands of Prince Malcolm's troops were fast approaching, shielded by branches cut from great Burnham wood. Thus, it appeared that the wood moved towards Dunsinane Hill and Macbeth's castle, the event predicted to precede Macbeth's downfall.
Macbeth still believed himself invulnerable. Rallying his remaining forces, he waged a bloody war until he met Macduff face to face, when Macduff disclosed that he had not been born by natural means, but by caesarean birth. With the help of a surgeon, Macbeth knew his end had come.
Now Prince Malcolm, the rightful heir, claimed his father's throne. Macbeth was dead. The people rejoiced. The wicked reign of Macbeth and his ambitious queen had ended, just as had been prophesied. Scotland was at peace, ruled once more by a true and noble king. The end.